So long story short, this is something for me that in a very short window of time, I went from living on an air mattress in LA, borrowing $400 from my mom. I grew up here in Houston, moved back here, began sampling product out. My mom works for Baker Hughes. Have you guys ever heard of Baker Hughes? It does very well. My dad's a consultant for some roofing companies, runs some school board campaigns for fun and bigger political campaigns for fun, and also works for a manufacturer and has some rent houses. And they do very well. And in 1 year, I've been able to outproduce both their incomes monthly from what CieAura's done. And that's not to impress you. That's just to basically tell you that if you plug a little bit of a skill set and effort and passion into this, some really cool things can happen. So the lifestyle, my dream was to get a job in this economy. I couldn't get one. I knew I had the skill set. I knew I had the talent. I just needed an opportunity. And with this, the opportunity was just a lot bigger than me, which is inspiring. I like being a part of things that are much bigger than myself because there's some sort of enlightenment factor that comes to it, and I get pumped up about that. So when you look at this, I don't want you to look at it and go, it's one of those network marketing companies. Because the first time I saw this slide, it turned me off completely. But then I began to analyze it and dissect it from each and every one of your seats, because I've been in there. I remember the first presentation I ever sat at, and we didn't have a slide like this, but now that we do, let me explain it to you. My grandpa's 84. He looks at this, has no idea what a Bentley is. He looks at that yacht, could care less about that yacht, but he looks at the house. You know what he sees? Thanksgiving with the whole family there. That's it. That's what my grandpa wants. But would an extra $200 to $300 a month make a difference in his life? Absolutely. He gets $1,900 a month Social Security. So my grandpa looked at me after this worked for him, and he said, can I do this with you? And I said, absolutely you can. He goes, because I know a lot of old people at church that have pain. And so if my grandpa goes out and samples this out to 100 people at church, and just 15 of them get started as a customer, 15 times 15, I have no idea what that is, but that's going to help out significantly for him and his finances monthly. Another thing he wishes for when he looks at that house is hopes that for the 20th year in a row, we don't have to hear about the rolls that my uncle makes and never always forgets to bring. I have no idea where those are always at. That's another story for another day. This is our management.